Hey guys, so today I wanted to do something special and something a little different. I wanted to shoot a makeup tutorial, but I wanted to do it in honor of somebody very close to me that passed 2 years ago today. It's hard to figure out what to say. Um, my Aunt Cindy passed away 2 years ago today as a result of suicide. Um, and I kind of debated doing something like this or not, but this morning I've uploaded or I've filmed or whatever. I don't know if you'd call it filming if you just use your MacBook, but I've done a bunch of videos and I haven't uploaded them just because I feel like they were kind of lacking inspiration. I'm lacking inspiration, or they're just not like you could go on YouTube and find them anywhere else. So I haven't uploaded anything in a while, and this morning, today being that anniversary, I just kind of had an idea, like, why don't we do a purple thing, because Cindy's favorite color was purple, and why don't I do it and talk about it? Because people don't talk about this. There's such a stigma, there's such a, um, black mark or what, I mean, just there's just an unhealthy stigma in our society today about suicide. It happens. It happens so much more than people realize. And when it does happen, it's not very easy for people to talk about it. People don't want to hear about it. Um, and I wanted to put this out there today because people should talk about it. People should hear about it. It shouldn't be a stigmatic, terrible thing to discuss because it's happening every single day to people like you, to people like me, to people like anybody. If you think that this can't happen to you, that's just not how it is. So I wanted to do this today, not only to do something that would make Cindy smile, to make her happy, but um, I wanted to do this because I wanted a platform to talk about it. And so I decided to do this today, not only as an homage to her because she freaking loved purple, but just to talk about it, to talk about the fact that this is happening all over the world every single day, to all sorts of people, rich, poor, happy, I mean, to anybody. So, um, yeah, with that, you know, I guess I just wanted to add in that if you're thinking about that, if you're in a dark place, I just wanted to say that you're not alone. I'll put in a hotline number where there's people 24 hours a day at the end of the line to help and encourage you, but also to encourage you to reach out to anybody and everybody in your support system. If it's not that big, if it's huge, don't be ashamed. Don't be afraid. Chances are, if you reach out to somebody, there's so many people that go through this, that don't talk about this, that don't talk about depression, that don't talk about mental illness. It's surprising when you open up to other people how many other people are affected by this. I've suffered from depression 13 years, something like that. I started having issues with depression related things when I was around 9 years old. And then it really kind of came to light when I was 15. So, I mean, if I were to take into, I mean, almost 20 years, really, if I think about it. But it's been something over the years that, I mean, I hate that I have it. I don't like to talk about it. I don't like to open up about it. It can be embarrassing at times. But at the same time, I mean, if you have heart disease, are you ashamed to talk about it? Probably not. Your brain is an organ, just like everything else in your body, and it's not immune to being susceptible to illnesses at certain points. And I mean, there's no reason you shouldn't be able to open up to other people about if you're having issues with depression, if you're having issues with anxiety, things like that. There's no reason that it's okay in today's society or in any society that you shouldn't be able to open up and reach out for help and that you have to feel alone. There's no reason for that. So big F you to society for making it so stigmatic to have an illness, like a cold or cancer or a flu. I mean, fuck you, society. Like, it happens. So I don't know. I guess enough about the heavy stuff. Cindy was a very vivacious, full of life, loving, tender-hearted, caring person that I am so honored to have had be a part of my life. And, you know, whatever. This is a makeup sort of whatever-ish channel, whatever. I don't care. So I guess in incorporating that, you know, she was a very fun, like, just a blast to be around, you know, sort of person. So I decided to put together, you know, this, I guess, kind of to honor that and show her personality in that regard. She loved purple, but she was also a very bold, fun person. So broke the rules today. I threw a bold lip in with a bold eye look, and, you know, fuck it. That's totally how she was. So I don't know. I hope that if you are having struggles, that maybe this sort of thing, or maybe just talking about it, I mean, in myself, you know, myself talking about it, maybe that'll encourage you to talk about it, you know, because it sucks and you shouldn't have to feel alone. You should never have to feel alone because there's millions and millions of other people going through the same thing. So love yourself, hug yourself, and if you're feeling down, reach out and don't be afraid to do it. So anyhow, I'm going to scooch on over to the tutorial end of things, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope that if you need help, that this helps, or, you know, if you don't need help, I hope that this might help you. If you don't need help, I hope that this kind of can shed light on the fact that everybody needs love, everybody needs encouragement. And if somebody reaches out to you that's having an issue with feeling bluesy, that's feeling sad, that's having, you know, issues with depression, I hope that this, you know, I hope that by doing this video that it maybe can encourage you to just be kind and loving, and to just be there for somebody that needs somebody to be in their corner, and to help them get the help they need. Because I think if we all adapted that sort of mindset in regards to being loving and kind and encouraging and reaching out, or you know, contacting, you know, if somebody's on the phone and they're talking about doing something, you know, committing suicide, you know, call the police, call whoever you need to call if it's that extreme. You know, just hopefully, I hope that if somebody's reaching out to you, that this might be an encouragement for you to just reach out back and, you know, do what has to be done if somebody's really in a bad place. So I don't know. I hope that if you're feeling down, if you're feeling blue, that you can see the end of the tunnel and not be afraid to reach out, because even if you don't feel like there's always somebody out there that loves you. There's always somebody out there that you can reach out to. You just have to be brave, be strong, and do it. So I guess that's it. Let's get started. We're going to get started by just prepping skin and putting on some moisturizer. I really find putting moisturizer on before I put my foundation on really makes my foundation look realistic instead of cakey. So then I'm going to take, I don't know, it's the True Match Lumi by L'Oreal. I recently picked up a bunch of drugstore makeup products because I really don't try them out enough, and I'm actually like really impressed with this. It reminds me a lot of the Real Techniques CC cream, but it seems to have a little bit more coverage and it's a little bit more matte. So I'm just going to use a foundation brush and start in downward strokes where I need the most coverage, which tends to be my cheek area. And the reason I'm using downward strokes is because I, like a ton of other women, have like peach fuzz everywhere. So if you're going downward strokes, it really helps to, you know, make your hair lay flat on your face, which sounds really masculine, but you know, everybody has it. So then I'm going to take the Estee Lauder Double Wear Concealer just because it works really good. It's got really high pigmentation and coverage, so it really is good at covering pretty much anything. And I've got some major pimplage going on. I always get really red under my nose. Hate it. Where else? Right here. Fuck you, little skin. Ugh, God, I hate pimples. Bitch. Let that sit for like 2 seconds. Ugh. If I don't get my hair in it, I'm gonna take my finger and I'm just gonna pat. The patting motion, so if you're thinking about it when you're applying concealer or foundation, if you're patting and kind of stippling it on, it's going to provide, you know, the most coverage you can get. If you're like swiping or going in circular motions, you're not going to, God, I look like I'm not going to say who I think I look like, but I look like I have a very historically prominent mustache. So let's just get rid of that. So this really, I mean, and the warmth of your hand is going to spread it out, kind of distribute it evenly. I mean, everybody's like, you know, wanting tools and tools and tools for everything. And there's definitely, like, I love using brushes for concealer in certain areas. But I feel like when I want the most coverage and when I get it is when I just use my hand. So what I always do first with my eyes is my brows, because it really just adds, you know, adds a frame, obviously, to whatever canvas you're gonna, you know, whatever you're gonna put on your canvas. But it kind of, I don't know, just spells out a nice boundary. I extend my brows. If I don't do that, I just feel like weird when I put my eye makeup on without doing my brows first. So this is the NYX Micro Brow, which is like a dead-on dupe. I'd say it's like, I mean, it's a little bit different, but it's almost dead-on. It's made in the same lab as the Anastasia Brow Wiz, which is my go-to. I tried a Maybelline brow pencil not that long ago, and it just, I mean, once you go like the thin-ass brow pencil route, Anastasia, or this, like, you just don't go back. So I'm just going to frame out, this is in taupe. I'm going to extend the tail of my brow a little bit. And a trick I like to use when I'm doing my brows is to kind of look down and look at the natural contours of my face and my, you know, the pattern that my hair grows in, because I have some shitty ass brows, but I've got a lot of sparseness and blah, 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 blah. And when I go like this, it almost, you can just, I feel like you get a lot more natural effect when you go this route. So I'm just filling in those areas, and I'm going in tiny, tiny little, like, strokes, like trying to replicate my hair. I hate this little spot right here. It never wants to fill in. But I'm trying to grow my brows out right now, which, I mean, aren't we all? So I take a brush like this, like an angled brush, or like a pencil sort of brush. You could do the same thing. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I just like the angled aspect because it kind of gives you a guide to work with, if that makes sense. Then I'm going to take my, like, crazy loved Brow Envy kit. I love this thing for so many reasons. So then I go in with, you know, whatever. Do this as well. I feel like I need to, like, steady my hand because I've had so much damn coffee today. But I really think that when you go in with two different textures of product, a pencil and a powder, like, it just adds like a three-dimensional sort of effect. So your brows really look, I mean, you kind of create those little hairs with the pencil, and then you go in with the powder. It just makes them look really naturalistic versus just going in with a powder. If you have really, really good brows, I would suggest like just use a powder. Like you don't need any extra definition. If you have really sparse brows like I do, go in with a pencil. You know, a powder's totally optional. I just really think it adds a really three-dimensional effect. So I like it. But this one is always the asshole of the bunch. Like, oh shit. I'm going to go back with my pencil really quick because there's just this spot here. So I'm actually just going to use my finger to put on my highlight. It's the major hit pan on much loved Too Faced Brow Envy Kit highlight. I love this stuff. I'm just going to use my finger and just get right in there. And I'm not super worried about how I'm going to be applying it because I'll be blending eyeshadow in just a couple minutes. This is the Morphe palette, 3.5, and it totally broke on me. 3.5N, it's all matte. Thoughts on this? I like it. At first I did not like it at all. But I really like it as far as like the darker shades. The lighter shades I can't pick up on my brush. Like I do not go for those ever. And since I can't find my MAC purple palette, I'm going to go in with these purples because they've got some really pretty purples. I actually have never used them, so hopefully it doesn't bomb on me. I need as much coffee as I can get. Fucking shit. Okay, so I'm actually going to go with this guy. This is going to be our transition. It's like a salmony, let me swatch it. It's like a salmony coral pink color. And it's actually not bad. It's not bad. But at first I really I went into these light shades and they just wouldn't like it. Swirl, 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 swirl. And I just could not get it on my brush. Did not like it. Now I like it but I really only use it for my like transitional crease shades. So I'm going to go in with that color. And actually I'm just going to go in with a blending brush because I'm going to go in with my much loved, not much, but very like used and needs to be washed MAC 217 brush. I'm going to swirl it in the pan. I'll show you how I do it. Swirl it in the pan and then like get off that extra product. And I'm just going to go in the crease. Wowzers, that is fucking pigmented. And I'm going to start with the outer 3/4 of my eyes. I have no idea what I'm doing today. I did not plan this out. Usually if I post anything, I kind of try it out beforehand and see what I think, see how it wears. I know how these shadows perform, so I'm not so much worried about that, but I want to, I like to plan shit out, so, but, you know, today is on a whim, and, I want to do this for an important reason, so I just decided to go for it. So then I'm going to take a clean blending brush. I have used this so much. There's literally no lasering. This is why Wayne Goss brushes are the shit, because they're like etched into the brush, and just when you go over and like print it, you know, I mean, if you love it a lot, it's going to come off. So I think this is the Airbrush blending brush from the IT Cosmetics for Ulta line. And I'm just going to go back and forth. Everybody has a way to blend, and I feel like it's taken me years and years and years and years and years of practice to get blending down. But my best, the best way I describe or can figure out how to do it for myself is to go over, to apply product, go over it with a clean brush. If you have trouble, then go in with a shade that's like 2 shades lighter and go on the outer perimeter, add that in and blend that into the mix. And it kind of adds a little bit more of it's, you know, kind of a gradient sort of technique. So if you are having issues, it kind of makes it a little bit, you're almost faking it till you make it sort of a thing. But this is actually going okay. I'm shocked because this is really pigmented. So yeah, today is not a fun day. But you know what? I was just thinking, this would be a cool way. Cool. I've been looking for inspiration. I've been trying to find inspiration. I'm such a right-brained artistic person, and I'd like to let my inspiration like be my guide. And I've literally like probably filmed like 4 or 5 videos and just not uploaded them because I just felt like they were like, everybody posts something. Well, everybody has that. Everybody has that. Everybody, if you want to look for something on YouTube, like you're going to find that in 8 million other places. So I just didn't want to go with it. But this, I feel like this is I don't know, a standout sort of concept. And, you know, what better way to do anything than to do it with your heart and with purpose. So, yeah. So now we're going to get fun. I'm going to take my pencil brush again. And I'm going to go in with this color. They don't have names, otherwise I'm telling you the name. It's an all matte plum. And I'm just going to go in the 3/4 section again. Right where you see my lid kind of has that wrinkle right above it. Just so that, otherwise it'll kind of hide. If you go right above that line, I've had so much fucking coffee today. Right above that line. And kind of taper it in. Don't like have a really thick line up here. And then go from underneath. Kind of that outer V concept that everybody loves. This is my MAC 217 brush. I need to like literally hold my arm. I've been so much fucking yapping. And then if you can avoid going like this, because I notice I have a very bad, I have a hard time not doing that myself. But I notice when I do that, you're bringing this area up. And so you're blending out, but you're blending out into what is actually like, you don't know what it's going to look like when you're done doing it, because you'll blend this out to kind of work it, however, and you wind up, getting your shadow going all sorts of wonky places because it's not where your eye is naturally going to sit, if that makes sense. I do it when I do my eyeliner just because everybody does it. Unless you're amazing, which, I'm sorry, I'm not. Then I'm going over with that clean blending brush. Can't blend enough. This guy needs a little more help. I'm going to go in with this crazy dark. It looks like brown, but it's actually very, a dark, 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 dark plum. The 217 brush again. Kick off the excess. And I'm just going to go in this part right here. And I like to keep my eyes open while I'm doing this, which is difficult as fuck. But it just helps you see where the fuck you're going. Otherwise, it's like, let's hope it turns out good, and I don't want to do that. So, just go right here. Yeah, Cindy loved purple, so I think this is perfect. Then I'm going to go in with that blending brush again. Not really move it around, just blend out any of the edges. Okay. Cool. Everybody's shadow face, seriously, like, oh my god. every time I do my shadow or mascara. It's like, but seriously. Kind of like I'm just blending around the edges and I'm moving over just a tiny, tiny little chunk. And I'm going to go over one more time. I know, with that first shade that we went in with, that coral shade, just on the edges, just to buff out. Just in this portion here. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. So I'm really totally satisfied with that. Except this actually, no. So here's the fun part. I'm going to take a MAC 242 brush, shading brush, anything like this that's flat will work perfect. And I'm going to take Vanity from my Vice 3 palette. It's a metallic purple, cool toned purple though. This is that puppy right here. I love my Vice 3 palette. It's like stupid versatile. Okay. Pat my brush down like this. And then you take some MAC Fix Plus or water, and you just give it a spray. And then go like this. Just pat it down. Ah! I hate it when this happens. I hate that. I hate it, and it's an asshole. So, same thing again. Inner corner highlight. I'm going to take Urban Decay Half Baked out of my Naked palette because it is a yellow, and it's really, really warm. And just go right there. Kick off the excess. I don't know if you can see that, but I fucking love it. Then I'm just gonna take an angled liner brush. This is like a $3 brush from e.l.f. and it's actually like my favorite. And just a cream liner, and I'm using one with some warmth again, just to kind of contrast and make the purple pop. Like if you're ever trying to figure out what colors to use, if you want to go bold, if you want to go neutral, like if you've got one that you kind of particularly want to show off, it's really good to take just like that color wheel concept, and it'll really make shit. So I'm going to use it like thick, high angle up and low angle down, high angle towards the corner, the inner corner of my eye, and just really not even anything major. I'm going to do a little itty itty baby wing, nothing big. Alright, I guess I'm not going to do a little wing. It's good, I think. And then I'm just going to take the same cream liner and I'm just going to run it down, not in my waterline, although I could. But just kind of outline the, the outer third of my eyelid. I'm going to take a like pencil-y kind of brush. I'm going to take the Vanity shade and just run it right underneath what we just did. And bring that up to right before where my tear duct kind of starts. Then I'm just going to take a black kohl pencil. This is a Rimmel one. And just run that. I'm going to curl. I take them and I pulse back and forth. Tarte Lights Tarte Lights Camera Lashes. Alright, so kind of do like a thin-ish coat, kind of just to get in there. Spread those lashes and define them. Then I'm just going to go in with my MAC Pro Longwear. And I like to kind of steer away from the shadow so I can blend it in there without effing anything up. Alright, so I like to set my under eye with something that's not crazy harsh. So I use, not crazy harsh, but not crazy matte, just because it just doesn't look flattering, I don't think. So I like to go in with the ambient lighting powder in, what's it, Radiant Light. And just set that area. Nothing excessive. Contour lightly with the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil Matte Bronzer. I just go like this, just like a little baby contour. And I honestly like to go right above the hollows of my cheek, which sounds kind of dumb, but it gives you more, you have more space, I feel like, to buff it out, and it honestly is really lifting, in my opinion. And I feel like it kind of makes more of a gradient effect with your blush. I like to take my bronzer around my hairline, just at the top. This has been one of my favorite blushes lately. Whoa, hello. The NYX HD blush in Intuition. It's like a really pretty, I'll swatch it on my arm, really pigmented, but like a rosy sort of pink. It's got a shimmer effect to it, but it's just so pretty. And I'm going to take my Real Techniques powder brush right here. Ugh, makeup hair! I think it also helps when you're doing this to look down as well, just like I was kind of showing with the brows earlier, just because you can kind of see naturally where your face, where it looks, where you have those natural contours of your face. And that lovely freaking hair is driving me crazy. I want long hair again so bad. Mary Luminizer by the Balm, best highlight ever. I'm going to take a fan brush because I feel like they really make it blendy smooth instead of a stark like line. So first I'm just going to take it where I want it to be the most concentrated, which is right here. using the brush perpendicular to my face. And we're getting our highlight on today. Same over here. Trying to like skip the pimple, like stay away pimple. Because that will definitely like, that will definitely highlight your pimple. A little bit down the nose. But yeah, look at how easy it is to blend. I mean, come on. And then right over the brow, this is like, if you want your brows to look perfect, this is the way. Using that matte light highlight underneath and then something shiny over the top, like it just makes your brows like flawless. You kind of work it up, blend it out. And then this is the fun part. Ah, so fun. Tiny, tiny bit. What color lipstick should we do? I'm going to use, this is actually I like made my own lipstick palette sort of thing. I've got some in the top, some in the bottom, and I've not filled it up all the way yet, so whatever. But I should have written the names down. This is I think it's Dahlia from, I know the name's Dahlia. I'll figure out what it is. But it's a very, very berry sort of shade. So we're doing purple. I was going to do a hot pink, but it just like too hookerish. So not that there's anything wrong with that if you want to do that. So I'm going to throw on some chapstick really quick. I just threw some on to help get. And then I'm going to take this Dahlia shade. I think that's really pretty with this shimmy-nabob. I feel like brushes just make things smoother, easier, better. They're just better. At least for me. I'm going to take a little bit of a lighter lipstick and just go in the center. You know, this can just happen to anybody, and maybe it'll make you think twice before being mean to somebody, or somebody's having a hard time, instead of just turning your shoulder, maybe something like this will help you reach out, you know. Before this happened to our family, I mean, granted, I've had issues with depression for a very long time. Even with that, you know, I never thought that I'd be sitting in this sort of position myself to this day. So, I mean, it's kind of just more than anything. I mean, I think we're all aware of the fact of what suicide is, that it happens, but, you know, it happens to everyday regular people. And, you know, I mean, I wanted to find a platform to do something lighthearted and fun and that would make Cindy smile. But I also wanted to do something to encourage others to reach out, to be kind, to be loving, because you never know what somebody's going through. You may think, you know, if somebody's having an issue like this, or if somebody's had an issue like this for a long time, that it's easier to just step away and not, you know, not reach out. Or you may have anger, you may have frustration. So I guess in this regard, I just, you know, would hope that if you're in that position, if you don't know what to do, if you have a loved one who's having an issue, you know, with depression, mental illness, instead of turning away, instead of being frustrated, instead of being mad, reach out. Don't be afraid. Don't be embarrassed. Don't be ashamed to reach out to somebody. If it's a stranger, if it's a 1-800 line, if it's your family, if it's your spouse, if it's anyone, don't be ashamed. Don't suffer by yourself. There's so many resources out there. There's so many avenues you can go to get help.